Hi, so welcome to Unparenting with Aarohi with a little different touch because this time it's not online. I am in Aarohi, sitting in the space which we generally talk about a lot. And I think this whole journey of unparenting is also about this space that I'm talking about, and that's Aarohi. So we have talked a lot about unparenting in 100 million ways. And what we started maybe last year about limitless parenting. So we are once again back with one more situation because I think when we reshaped or renamed or relooked at the whole idea of what do we really talk about, how do we take this ahead, which was earlier we talk, now we have renamed it as Unparenting with Aarohi. We were thinking that there are many situations in our lives as a parent that we face, and then most of the time maybe we are stuck with just looking at that situation in one single way or maybe two ways, and that really doesn't help because every child is different, every parent is different, every situation, every surrounding, every experience is different. So responding in one way was definitely not helping. So we just thought, why don't we look at one single situation from maybe limitless way or 1 million ways. So here we are with one more way of looking at this one single situation, which I personally as a parent was facing, or in fact I am facing. And that is something which is very common, no, Ratnesh? Some children bullying my child. And bullying, in the sense, bullying can be in many different ways. So personally what I struggled was, let's say, when my child is telling something to somebody, he's not being heard, or when my child is trying to call them, they are not listening, or when my child is trying to talk in a different way, maybe some kind of behavioral signs like hitting or something comes his way. And so I really don't know what to do about that because I feel clueless. I also feel helpless. I also see my child feeling helpless, and so that's where I am. So I want to begin with this one single situation.
Okay, so let's do it this way today. Let's not worry about the children here. Let's only worry about ourselves, right? Let's see what different parents would, let's say, want in such a situation. So your situation is your child is being not heard, little manhandled by the other children, which you are calling as bullying. Fair enough. So my question to you is, as a parent, what do you want in that situation?
I think my want is very clear. My expectation is that my child should either leave them or fight back. If, let's say, if he's being hit, then I want him to fight back. I want him to hit back. And let's say when he is not heard, then I want him to understand that it's fine, just leave it. Why do you want somebody to push and make yourself heard?
Okay, so we are saying that either you want him to fight back or you want him to leave the situation. In some way, you are indicating to me that you are wanting him only to resolve it. Is that your expectation? Any which way he resolves it?
Yeah, I think that's always in his hand, right? He can't do anything about the other person's behavior or reaction.
No, I'm saying, so you are not wanting your role. It is more of he should be able to solve it. Is that what you are wanting?
Yeah, because I think I feel if I get involved, if I tell something to the other child, or let's say if I try to resolve it tomorrow, any which ways, there will be so many times that I won't be around, and I'm sure that at that time he will feel more helpless because he must be so inclined to get help from me in all other ways. So
Okay.
yeah.
So in which case, what is the problem? I mean, if you are anyway saying the child should resolve it, then just let him resolve it. Yeah, as in there is nothing much for us to do. At best, we can ask him at another time when he is, let's say, the dinner time or the sleeping time, that how would you like to resolve it, and he can come up with one ideas, two ideas, maybe none ideas. But the point is that then we are anyway inviting him to resolve it, so we need to stay with that expectation. Yeah, that that desired thing that okay, now you resolve it. It's in your hands, and he may choose anything. He may say, "Let's go away from this place." Isn't that his resolution, right? It may. So, if you are very specific that he should fight back, assert himself, that's also fine. Nothing wrong with that. So, that is one subset of how he resolves it. Yeah. So, let's put it this way. So, are you very specific that he asserts himself, or are you okay that he chooses any way to resolve it?
So there is a little catch here. Whenever I see this kind of behaviors happening with him, I feel somewhere when I was very young, I was also treated in some or the other situation like that, and I felt very bad. So whenever I see him in this kind of situation, I feel I kind of get triggered, and I also feel that I don't know when and how that happened, but over a period of time, I started making those choices of, raising my voice or talking it out or saying that I'm not okay with this, or maybe just running away from the situation. But yeah, I think I'm still with my expectation that I want him to resolve it. I want him to at least fight back.
Yeah, so I see more of that you are wanting your child to assert himself. Yeah, and that's your expectation. Okay, so fair enough. We are not trying to say that there's anything wrong or right about that expectation. So in this particular case, this parent wants to assert wants the child to assert himself, which is fine. And meaning if you want him to assert himself, then I would say again two things. One is you will have to give him time, right? We need not come up with an idea immediately or be able to find the hook to assert myself immediately. Okay, he may not be ready for asserting right now. It could be happening tomorrow, it could be happening a week later, maybe a year later, maybe a few years later, right? The assertiveness may grow in different forms and different times. The second thing is that I would then a backhand, as I said, when you are going to bed or sometime, that's the time I would talk to him that how would you like, will you like to assert yourself? And then if the child says, no, I don't want to assert myself, I don't want to push back them, that's a fair choice. And if the child says yes, then I can prompt him or let him come out with his ways of asserting or his ways of doing it or dealing with the situation. So I'm just saying this is one scenario where you as a parent is wanting that. Yeah, but I'm saying just to kind of explore this little more, let's see, can you come up with what else could different parents be wanting in this situation?
So I'm also thinking from the other child's perspective.
No, forget the child, other parent perspective. Let's say, I'll give you an example. Let's say another parent might want the other child not to do it. Right? The one who is, let's say, being little more aggressive, little more violent, which we are calling as who is bullying within quotes. We may want him to stop or her to stop, whoever is the overpowering or dominating player, that person to stop. And may even go to that parent to say, your child is doing like this to my child. That's a fairly common way of doing it. So that's the other possibility, that the parent may want the other child not to do this. Right? In your case, you are not really wanting that, but in another case, that's also a fair parent's wish, that I want the other child not to do it. Yeah. In which case, I would say if you can then it is your responsibility, or rather if I am the parent who is wanting the child, it's my responsibility to connect with the other child, and whatever I can request, I can show a different perspective, or even ask, how can you involve my child in play? And that child may have a bag of complaints. Your son doesn't do this, doesn't do that. I'll have to listen to it, because now I'm more in the request frame, or more in, meaning I can be in the complaint frame to his or her parents. That may temporarily resolve it if that is how we want to do it. So one option is complain to the parent. One interesting option is to directly talk to the one who is dominating, but not as now you start dominating him, that you don't do like this. Then what's the point? Then we are telling the child, be dominating. Right? But if we go as a request, or we go as a way to understand the other child and say, hey, how can you help my child? So I'm asking this child to help me by helping my child. So I'm more going with a request mode. So that's the other way somebody may want, right? Or as you said, that I may as a parent also want him to move away from the group. In which case, what would you do? How can we approach that if that's your wish, that you want the child to move away from the group?
I would just ask my child, why do you want to stay with the group which are not making you feel good, or which are not making you feel empowered?
Because whatever they are doing is interesting. Let's say they are playing with whatever. Let's say playing with a certain toy, or playing a game. Let's say they are playing a ball bat game, a cricket. Now what they are playing is where my heart lies, but they are kind of dominating me. So if we want the child to move away from them, perhaps we'll have to, especially for younger children, we'll have to offer them a bigger alternative, as in something which otherwise is more interesting to the child than the cricket. Right? Either you say, even you're saying I will play cricket might work in some cases. Child will say, okay, I'll play with mom, dad. Why should I play with them? Yeah. But otherwise you'll have to give him or her a bigger temptation or bigger motivation to move away from that. Yeah, unless the child only chooses that I'm not playing with these people. But that also is not okay with lot of parents, that when the child comes back and say, I don't want to play with that group. Why? Because they mistreat me. They hit me, or they don't listen to me. They don't give me the bat. They only keep playing. Right? So now again, my question is always, forget the child for a minute. We're not talking about child today. What as a parent do you want? Yeah, if you want the child to go back and play, then your approach will be different. If you want the child not to play, then your approach will be different. If you want the child to fight it out, then your approach will be different. If you want to intervene, then your approach will be different. Okay. If you want to not do any of these, if you want to say, okay, I want to play, I don't want to do anything, I have no expectations, I don't want to take this anywhere, right? This is just happening. I just want to give that space for the child to understand this more. So I am in the awareness mode, right? So one way is, I want to, do these. Another way, I just want to make the child more aware. Yeah, I don't want an outcome. I don't know whether the bullying will reduce, increase, whatever will happen. But I can just be the awareness person. In which case, I can start by helping the child become aware of what he's feeling. So, you are feeling, so I will acknowledge the feeling. Oh, you are feeling scared, or you are feeling upset, or you are feeling small, or you are feeling alone or timid, or whatever you think, you make a guess. So first we start with acknowledging the feelings. Then we can acknowledge the child's desires. Oh, you are wanting this. So you are wanting to play the cricket, and you're also wanting them to give you the bat and ball. Now I'm not trying to solve here anything. I'm only making the child aware of his feelings, his wants. Then I go one level deeper. I would say, okay, but in all of this, what is your need? Maybe your need is to be social, to be playing with others and not playing with alone. Because when you play alone, you are not feeling like this. So you are playing alone, you are fine, but this playing with others is creating some So you have a need to play with others, but it's not working out this way. Okay, again, I'm making him aware. I'm not straight away saying, you arrange for a cricket party, call others. So then again, it's my solution. But I'm only in the awareness stage. So I can make him aware of that. I can even make him aware of what are his actions. Okay, so when this is happening, you are doing this, you are choosing to do this. Let's say the child is going and trying to snatch the bat, or he's using some particular words or a language. Sometimes we tend to use not so nice words, you are bad. Okay, and then they are kind of coming on to him. So I can make the child aware of what language or what behavior he's using without saying it's right or wrong. So I can, in this case, I am being the awareness raiser, you can call it, or whatever, right? And
Igniter, maybe.
Igniter, awareness presenter, with the objective that once the child becomes aware of all different aspects of himself, with that understanding, he can decide whether he wants to resolve it, fight it out, run away from it, hide behind mom, dad, or just go and play alone, whatever is his choices. So as a parent, I think before we even go to understand the child, we are not even there in this particular talk. We are there as a parent. First of all, let me understand myself. What am I wanting? And based on what am I wanting is what I will do.
Yeah.
Right? And that is what we normally do. If I want the other child not to just, I'll go and say, hey, stop troubling my child. Right? And the child might get quietly go away or whatever. Right? Or might not, and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
So let's understand what we are wanting, and do we want to want something else. Another parent could say, no, all this is super, man, this is super masala for everybody to learn from. I'll go and take a video and then say, see, you all are doing all of this is so much fun. So somebody may want not just awareness, somebody may actually want them to relook at themselves, kind of reflect on themselves by, let's say, seeing a video of their own, how they actually played. Or even if I can't show the video to others, I can take the whole video of the situation and later on a TV show it to my child. See, this is what all happened. Now I don't even need to make the child aware. I'm not even at awareness. I'm at helping the child to only reflect back on what is the whole drama happening there.
Yeah.
Right. So I think we can operate from. I'm sure if we talk to more parents will have more ways of what they are wanting. I'm not able to always come out with a lot of what, but I'm just saying we need to look into ourselves. What is it that we are wanting, and then respond accordingly.
And I think what we are doing also, because let's say even if and I think what we are doing also, because even if I'm not responding, I'm still responding in a way. So when all this while I was still thinking what to do, how much to get involved, what to say, and how to even, let's say if I have an expectation, should I put my expectation right away on the table and tell him to do this and do that, how far that will work. All of this I was trying to keep thinking how much to do it, but I was still in a way doing a lot of other things by not doing it also. So whatever I was responding to, whether I would have gone to the child or whether I would have kept it to myself, in a way I was definitely responding to the child's situation, because his life situations were not stopping anywhere. Me not responding may stop, but then his life situation were not. So I think what you are saying makes a lot of sense, that I need to see my role, and I can define my role when I know what I really want as a role, like you say, that maybe awareness igniter or awareness presenter, or maybe I just want to bring options on his table and he wants to choose, or maybe I just want to stay with his option of whatever he's saying, that let's go, or I don't like it, or I want to whatever do, and I can stay with it.
I can even go on a high drive of him to think. I can push him to think. Come on, come up with more solutions. You see so much of this serial and that serial. Come on, dig out from there. So I can go in. I can go in any which way. And even one more, if you want, one more expectation could be that I see this as an opportunity to develop a certain certain characteristic. Let's say assertiveness is one characteristic, but that's not the only. Maybe I can look at this situation as a characteristic to develop sensitivity towards others, or look at this situation as a way to understand my own beliefs, or understand how different people operate. So I'm there, I'm at a totally different, it's like a case study I'm presenting to the child. His own life's case study to himself only. And I'm at a totally different trip altogether, right? I'm looking at how different things manifest themselves. And I'm just using it then as an example. I'm just saying, hey, it's an experience, man. And in that experience, you can pull so many different goodies. Right now, we are looking at, let's say, sensitiveness as a goodie, rather than, why even look at it as a bullying situation? Why not look at it as a different situation? Right?
Yeah.
So, see, there are, in any situation, especially of this social situation, there are three things. One is the child, the one who is being bullied, let's say in this particular case. One is the one who is bullying, and then there is a situation. Right? Now, which one we want to focus on? We want to focus on the child. We focus on the one who is bullying, or the one who is being bullied, or we want to focus on the situation. In which case, we are neither focusing on the bullied or the one who is bullying, but we are using the situation for
as a tool to understand.
So many things.
Yeah.
And then we are a little more objective towards it, because then there is no, let's say, sympathy, empathy, allopathy, whatever. Right? We are not trying to solve anything, because it's just a situation.
Yeah.
So that's that video wala case I was giving you. So it can be looked at in many different ways. So my first thing is, even before, some other time we can talk about the bullying and the bullier or whatever, the bullied and the one who is bullying. But today, let's just look at it from a parent's perspective, that, what do we want? And then, do we want to change our want also? We may, if we start thinking, what do I want? Maybe if husband and wife discuss, they may come up with two different wants. Husband wants something. Husband says, I want the child to run away from. Wife says, I want to fight it. Now, mom, dad have two different. So they will have to toss a coin and come up with, which one do we want? Or both may say, I will try this, you try this.
And then pata chala the child has chosen something else only.
So all that is the fun part of it. But we also, as a couple or as a parent, we can realize that is the spice of life, right?
Yeah.
And that it's good that these situations are happening. Because that is what life is, right? Tomorrow life will have us bully lots of situations, whether it's fighting for a seat in a train or whatever it is, or I could be a father-in-law tomorrow, and what do? Do I bully my daughter-in-law, son-in-law, right? So the equation will change so many times. Today I could be a subordinate, tomorrow I could be the boss. I could be a terrible subordinate, but I could be a terrific boss, or the other way around, or both ways. So the life will keep on throwing these. It is a never-ending thing.
Yeah, and also when you are saying this, I'm realizing that, even in my life, let's say if I've learned to fight back also, it's not always that I choose to fight back. There are times when I choose to even run away. There are times when I choose to just stay where I am and not do anything about it. There are times when I choose to fight back. So I think there are 1 million options, and even my child is going to use all of this which is available in his life. So I think, too much to-do list now I have. I'll start working on this. And thank you so much, Ratnesh, once again for bringing all the elements in light and making us think little more.
I just want to underline once again that different parents choosing different things as important to them, all are right. There are no wrong. Half the time we are guilty, why am I wanting this from the child, or should I want this, or should I? Let's not worry too much about it. What I'm wanting is fine. If I want to question it, change it, I should do that, or I can just continue what I'm wanting. So all wants are fine.
Fine.
I want to underline that. It's not like there is some ideal want.
Yeah. All choices are also fine, maybe way. True. So yes, I would like to at least stay with this here, and we'll come up with another situation in the next Unparenting with Aarohi. You'll also hear this as a podcast. You can also read about this, what we have discussed already, and you will also see a little glimpse of what we have talked about in different social medias like Aarohi's Instagram, Aarohi's Facebook, Aarohi's YouTube channel, and yeah, we'll keep you guys posted, and we'll see you in the next Unparenting with Aarohi. Thank you so much, Ratnesh.
Thank you, Vishruti.